but like many residents, I'm fed up that yet again our main item of business this evening is more of the chaos that's been unleashed on this council by Ripon's version of Liz Truss. On October the 20th, Councillor Hawke's apologies were accepted by this council. That meant he was a valid acting councillor. The 1972 Local Government Act also quite clearly states that a member might resign by giving written notice delivered in the case of a parish council to the chairman of the parish council. And his resignation shall take effect by the person upon receipt by the person or body to whom it's required to be delivered. Therefore, the document which has been handed to the clerk was dated the 20th of October. So he couldn't be giving his apologies and resigning at the same time. It's also interesting that eventually we get the initial inquiry which says, "This morning the Mayor of Ripon has handed me the attached letter passed to her by Councillor Hawke." Well, we know that to be untrue. It wasn't passed to her by Councillor Hawke because he didn't write it, he didn't authorise it, he didn't sign it, and I'll come on to that in a bit. Later that evening, on the 20th of October, as members can see from their papers, independently verifiable 2 witnesses confirm that Councillor Hawke made it quite clear that evening that he had no intention of tendering his resignation. The evening of October the 20th, the same date that the document handed into the council purporting to be his resignation letter, he is telling independently 2 witnesses that he is not resigning. And the next day, proof to that, he issues a full press statement stating that he's not resigning. He offers his apologies to Councillor Crozier for any distress caused, and that he lays the blame of the current situation as being caused by Councillor Brodigan. Interestingly, there is then this. You resigned the previous day. What are you on about? Simply, I'm betrayed, I'm hurt. No mention of a resignation the previous day. Well, of course there couldn't be, because his apologies had been accepted at 6 o'clock in the evening, and at 20 past 9 he was telling a journalist he wasn't going anywhere. And he wasn't, was he? Until on the following day, an unauthorised, unsigned document was delivered to the clerk by Councillor Brodigan.
Councillor Williams, can you just turn your voice back?
No, I can't. This was a malicious act of a woman scorned. The document received is not Councillor Hawke's, it's written by you. Councillor Hawke did go to the police regarding the matter, and they advised him that they couldn't bring a fraud prosecution simply because Councillor Brodigan didn't stand to benefit financially from the act. That was why they couldn't bring any further investigation. But having seen fit to launch unjustified and substantiated allegations against Councillor Crozier, sadly Councillor Brodigan now turned her attention to Councillor Hawke. And then this evening we had the character assassination from 2 members of the very person who volunteered his time freely last Saturday and this Saturday to ensure that children of this city could see Santa Claus for free. That's the calibre of the individual that I'm quite happy to stand shoulder to shoulder with. So I'd like to move an amendment, although I'm not sure that Councillor Martin Long was actually seconded. I move that this council resolves not to accept the document presented as a resignation letter from Councillor Hawke and notes that it was written by Councillor Brodigan. And that 2, the council censures Councillor Brodigan for her conduct in this matter in seeking to remove a democratically elected councillor from office.
The agenda item was about us approving the recommendations of NAB, not to remove Councillor Hawke as for us to do. But before we move on, before Councillor Campbell John, I'd also like to speak. I also have on my phone a voice recording from Councillor Hawke to me on the 20th of October. I have a transcript of it which I have shared with the clerk with regards to Councillor Hawke being angry that his apologies were not given on the 20th of October. I have the transcript and it is on my phone. And I was going to raise this at the next agenda item when we actually approve the minutes of the 20th of October, because I don't agree with the minutes where it is recorded that Councillor Hawke's apologies were given, because I believe they weren't, and he didn't believe that they were given either, according to the voicemail that I received from him. But prior to that, what I'm going to say is that I'm asking this council to accept the recommendations of NAB, that the resignation letter submitted by Sid Hawke is both genuine and valid. That's what they've recommended. This conclusion is supported by the North Yorkshire Police, who examined the matter and dismissed any suggestion of fraud on my part. A false accusation of fraud is not a trivial matter. It is an attempt to damage my name and undermine my personal, professional and political integrity. And I want to be clear, I acted throughout in good faith. I supported Councillor Hawke when he asked for help. He came to me wanting assistance to draft his complaint to the police regarding money he believed had been taken by Councillor Hawken. He later asked for help writing his resignation letter. I helped because I believed he needed guidance and because I believed a colleague deserved that support. For him to then turn around and claim wrongdoing is an extraordinary breach of trust. It is a betrayal not just of me, but of the standards that we expect from anyone who serves on this council. Councillor Hawke's actions constitute a breach of Ripon City Council's Code of Conduct and the known principles. His behaviour has shown dishonesty, disrespect and a clear lack of integrity. Those values are not optional, they are the foundation of public service. If we continue to accept Councillor Hawke as a councillor, we send a message to the electorate of Yorkbank that these standards no longer matter. The people who place their trust in us expect the highest level of probity from those elected to represent them. They deserve to know that this council will stand up for truth, fairness and transparency. A vote to support Councillor Hawke is frankly a vote to excuse dishonesty and misconduct. This is not about political advantage or about preserving a majority. It is about safeguarding the integrity of this council and upholding the values that justify the public's confidence in us. I urge you all to consider what message your vote will send to residents, to colleagues and to future councillors. Integrity must come before convenience. Openness must come before political calculations. And honesty must remain non-negotiable.